Generation MX-5 started with a clean sheet, and the only thing written on paper was that this car had to be the best MX-5 yet, the most fun to drive. So what followed was the result of the full-hearted efforts Mazda engineers put into development. The ND Mazda MX-5 is now smaller and even lighter than before. The new car is striking to look at. The front end looks like a Maserati Ghibli, and the rear end carries elements of retro origin shaped to look very modern and dynamic. With a perverted mind like mine, one might say that those taillights look a bit like gentleman sausages, but most normal people won't even know why I'm saying such a thing. The design that is really spectacular is the way the exterior looks from inside the car. The curved windshield sits on top of a dashboard that follows the same line, leading to legendary designs of the past, like a Fiat Barchetta or even a Triumph Spitfire. The dashboard fascia is modern and has an increased amount of complexity compared to the outgoing model. The instrument cluster may have an LCD screen for the information bits, but the speedo and rev counter are still analog dials that suit the car perfectly. The steering wheel is small and nice to grab onto. The gear lever is small and has short throws, but most importantly, it's been positioned perfectly. The top of the door panels are naked body-colored panels, just like classic roadsters. The one thing you'll notice immediately when you're inside the car is that it's undergone a decrease in size, and you can tell because this is a really cramped interior. Getting in the driver's seat and getting comfortable in it is pretty easy, but that's for me and my 5'11" and fat body. If you're this much taller than me, unless you like sitting a bit upright, I think that the MX-5 might not fit you. So here's a reason to be really happy if you're short. You get to drive an MX-5. The roof is now exclusively soft top and manual in operation. And quite frankly, they've made it as simple as possible. It's really fucking easy. And to put it back, all you need to do is pull the lever, bring it front, and latch on. Done! Under the hood, there's still a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder Skyactiv engine, but this time the maximum output has dropped to 155 horsepower, while torque has increased by 8 pound-feet for a total of 148. It might not sound like much, but with the extra weight loss, it feels faster than before. In reality, without knowing those numbers, you'd be guessing that there's a lot of more power. The exhaust note is brutally loud and throaty, and the way it instantly reacts to throttle inputs makes it super fun to drive. We found the claimed 6.1 second sprint to 100 kilometers an hour very optimistic. On regular roads, we couldn't even get close. Our best try found the clock stopping at 8.1. Pulling power is generally really good. The engine is very spirited, very rev happy, and as long as you keep your right foot jammed to the floor, the car feels really fast. This thing feels like a modern day classic car. It's just amazing. Driven quite hard for the duration of our loan, we still averaged 9.8 liters per 100 kilometers combined. And cruising on the highway, we observed around 6.5, which is incredible. The clutch pedal is pure perfection. This car is probably the easiest and most exciting manual car you can ever get your hands on. Due to the short wheelbase and firm Bilstein shocks, the ride is not very comfortable, as it gets pretty bumpy, especially on roads paved by the city of Toronto. I must confess that I didn't really mind it. The driving experience is simply so raw, it would have been compromised if the ride was any softer. Bottom line, this car is all about handling, and I'm all for that. The steering is a bit lighter than I'd want it to be, leading to a slightly mushy feel around the center. But other than that, it is quick, direct, and returns relatively good feedback. Most importantly, the nose follows steering inputs like a natural reflex. It's that quick. What makes the MX-5 extremely fun is the way speed feels. I mean, you're doing 70, but it's like super exciting. It feels like you're doing 170. so you don't have to lose your driving license to have some fun. It really flies through corners and gets back on the straights before you know it. Taking a good racing line, there's no lean, no drama, no nothing, just turning with high precision. If, however, you try to unsettle the rear by shifting the weight, it will go sideways quite easily, but will require very quick reactions on the driver's part to catch that slide and keep it under control. The brakes, however, feel strong and won't fade easily, while from 100 kilometers an hour, it took about 43 meters to stop. The 2016 Mazda MX-5 GS we tested had an Msrp of 35,300 Canadian dollars, and it includes all the necessary amenities for a comfortable time in it. You also get LED daylights, 17-inch alloys, and a limited slip diff. Many will argue that for the money, there are better alternatives, and that could be conditionally true, depending on what you're looking for. This thing is the real deal. It has been built with the enthusiast in mind, but the kind that will invest in improving their driving ability before adding any stupid mods to make it go faster. It is a brilliant machine for the purist, and that's that.